Hi again. It's been a strange couple of weeks as we try and adjust to the new norm. But the amazing thing is that through it all and in it all, our God is there doing great things. It seems rather ironic that since we had to close the doors of our church buildings, that the church attendance has increased. We're hugely encouraged by seeing how many people are tuning in to the services that are being live streamed, and it is our prayer that they are finding help and strength as the Word of God is being ministered to them. And also other things that we thought might perhaps fall that are actually flourishing. People are doing Bible studies online, attending prayer meetings online, doing Sunday school and children's talks online. It's great to see all that's going on. Even past the Sunday past, we had the induction of 3 ministers into their new charges, and if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to again look online and to see the service. And I would ask you too to pray for Angus as he begins his work in the Free North, and for Rory as he begins his work in Fortrose, and for Gavino as he begins his work in Cultern. Also, you should know that the monthly record has been made available online as well. Obviously we can't distribute a hard copy of it, but we're thankful to the great work that John has done in editing the record, and if you go onto the Free Church website you'll be able to download it for free. Last week I took you up into the hills in the sunshine, and here we are today down at the harbour in the rain, because sometimes, as we know, it does rain. Jesus often would be found up in the hills, but often found also down in the shore, and indeed it was from fishermen that he recruited a number of his disciples. In Mark's Gospel, chapter 4, we read of an occasion when Jesus was out with his disciples in a boat. And when they were out in the boat, suddenly there was a storm that hit them, and they were scared for their lives. But Jesus was also in the boat sleeping. They had a question for Jesus during the storm, and Jesus had a question for them after the storm. During the storm, the disciples asked, "Jesus, do you not care if we drown?" Now I know that as we see the effects of COVID-19 in our nation and throughout the nations of the world, perhaps we have a similar question. Where is God in all this? What is he doing? And does he not care? And these are okay questions to ask. But that passage in Mark 4 perhaps gives us something of the answer. Where was Jesus when the disciples were in the thick of the storm? He was in the boat with them. He was in the storm with them. Where is Jesus just now when we're going through everything that we're going through? He's in the boat with us. He's in the storm with us. He is the great Emmanuel, God with us. But Jesus, in the aftermath of the storm, had a question for the disciples. He asked them, "Why were you afraid? Do you not have faith?" He is, I think, reminding them that if they exercise their faith, that will dispel their fears, that they can know stillness even in the storm. Some years ago I was asked to do a wedding out in the Isle of Rona, which is when you go through the harbour and basically turn to the left out of the harbour. But when the day of the wedding came, the weather was horrendous, to such an extent that none of the normal boats could take me out to the island. So what we had to do was to recruit one of the local fishermen who would take his boat out to the island so I could conduct the service. The waves were really sometimes almost overwhelming the boat. The boat was up and down, and yet I have to say on that occasion I didn't feel any fear. And the reason, I knew the skipper, and I trusted him. I trusted that he would get me there and back again. In fact, even during the voyage, he made a cup of tea, and we shared a cup of tea together and chatted. When we see the effects of COVID-19, it is disturbing and frightening. And by now I think many of us know people who have caught the virus, and we even know people who very sadly have died as a result of the virus. We need to remind ourselves that in this storm that we know the sovereign skipper. He is there with us, and he is the one that we can trust and exercise our faith in, knowing that he will get us through it all. And as we are going through the storm, we can even rest in him and chat with him, knowing that he is the one who has a strong hold of us and will not and cannot let us down or let us go. In these coming days, I would urge you to keep exercising your faith in Jesus. You know the skipper. You know you can trust him. And he is saying to you, be still, be quiet, and know that I am your Lord and your God. I pray that you will know his presence with you, that you will know his peace in the coming days. So God bless, take care, and we'll speak again soon.